and hide.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tone Talk with Mark and Dave. It's Friday. It's Punish Dave with questions number 32.
Beer
And
30.
Yes. I'm doing the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Carta Blanca.
What is that?
It's a Mexican beer.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
I like it. I only have one though, so that's all I'm having.
I got a few of these. These things are strong, man. Holy shit. They are strong. It's an IPA. So
I know it's been around for a fucking century.
I know, but I don't drink that often,
Yeah.
So yeah, these things are strong as shit.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm. All right. So how's everybody doing?
Yeah, see there, I'm blurry again. That's interesting.
Are you? I don't see you blurry. You look good. You look fine.
It's blurry to me.
My glasses are all disgusting.
Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes if you use like the high definition, I see that's even shittier. Okay, I gotta switch to my new camera.
Yeah, I was just telling Dave offline. I think I'm gonna have to get a new computer. It took me a half hour to reboot my computer, like literally a half hour. That's just or I'm gonna try to wipe everything off and start from scratch.
Wipe it with a fresh install. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So happy Friday to everybody. I hope you're doing good. It's been a busy week. I'm looking forward to the weekend. And
oh boy, I get to work again tomorrow.
Oh, do you go back? Yeah. Well, that's always. Do you work a full day, or do you ever take like a half a day, or you just go the full day?
If there's something really going on, or we're gonna have to, I'm doing something or something. Yeah, I'll take a half day or something. But generally, it's 6 days. Well, actually, it's really 7 days a week when you talk about answering emails.
Yeah, well,
it's six work days.
You just lay in bed.
Occasionally days are, occasionally you'll have a day where you just don't feel like working much at work and you don't get much done. That's normal though.
I think we all have those days.
It's kind of the fuck off day. I accomplished a couple things.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as you got something done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you.
Yep, for sure.
Man, so interesting week of news. Out of nowhere, the story of Alex Van Halen working with Steve Lukather. You see this?
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Well, apparently he did an interview. Alex did an interview in Holland or in Dutch somewhere, in some Dutch magazine. And so he was speaking in Dutch, and it translated into this conversation that he had with somebody saying that the best person to work with would be Luke because he, was close with Ed and blah, blah, blah. And it's just really weird. The whole thing is just very strange. Like I couldn't imagine what Luke would be doing beyond like helping him sift through material. But I don't
know.
Luke doesn't play like Eddie at all. So there's no it's very, very weird. So I thought that was kind of interesting news.
We shall see.
Yeah, exactly.
See what happens.
Any other news going on?
Not that I'd like to talk about.
Okay. Are your amps going to be like $4,000 next week? I mean, $6,000.
They already are $4,000.
Are they going to be $6,000?
I don't know.
Or maybe the runt will be $4,000.
All this remains to be seen now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does. Quite
potentially a shit show.
Interesting times. Absolutely.
But yeah. No, and for people I saw in the chat, for people that are asking about the Jose wait list.
Mm-hmm.
So the wait list will probably be launched Friday of next week. It's all together and there's a banner for it on the website, and we'll announce it across social media and stuff. And this is just a wait list. You're on the wait list. You'll be notified when there are amps in our store, basically. I think that's how it's working.
That's cool.
But it's still going to be a while.
Yeah, it's going to take time.
We're waiting on parts.
Stuff takes time.
Yeah, you gotta wait for the boards, and you gotta wait for the pots, and you gotta wait for this and wait for that. So transformers and.
So I'm certainly not trying to get political in any way, but I'm just curious. Where does the metal come from that the chassis are made from?
Well, that's really interesting. So that's very interesting. I mean, the metal is fabricated here. Where the actual metal comes from? Well, what I was told by my metal guy, it's very interesting that China buys our scrap steel and makes ingot out of it, which is the thing that you make steel out of, and then sells it back to us.
Right. That's interesting.
So I don't know. Even U.S. steel really is sort of U.S. steel or sort of Chinese steel. I don't know.
Or Canadian.
Probably not so much.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
But all the metal prices are going up.
Right. But are the chassis made of steel, or are they made out of aluminum? What are they made out
of? Some are aluminum, some are steel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stainless steel, or just like what?
No.
I don't know the difference.
No, not stainless steel.
Okay. Stainless is just stainless. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, that's a whole different kind of thing that's impossible to drill through or put a hole through.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right.
Nice, but you got to love. There used to be amps. Mojave amps used to have stainless steel chassis, and I've had the pleasure of having to drill holes through them before.
Really?
And that's like you almost go through 2 drill bits trying to get through. It's not something you want to do a lot of.
Is there I guess an electronic or electric reason why you'd want to use that? Is it better
no, there's no particular reason. I mean, it's harder. There's
not more conductive or
no, there's no particular reason. I think it's kind of dumb for a chassis, to be honest. I mean, I guess it's more rigid. It's harder.
Is it lighter?
No.
Okay. Interesting.
No. So I sounds good.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Awesome. I didn't want this to turn into metal talk, but I was just curious.
Metal talk.
It's metal talk. Exactly.
Yeah.
What's up, Ben Tom? First in the chat. What's going on?
Hello.
And next up, we got Uneducated Walrus. Dave, I emailed you about adding a thumb frequency switch added to my BE50. I am the silver BE guy. Will this get me the JJ100 and butter slacks tones?
I answered you.
Oh.
We can do that, and it will change the resonant frequency of the thump circuit. So it then effectively changes it to the frequency. Well, the frequency is sort of variable depending on the cabinet you're plugged into, and this. Yes. Let's just say yes.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else that would kind of get you those butter slacks tones? Like anything else in the?
I mean, it just shifts. I mean, like at least into a 16 ohm 4x12 style cab, it shifts the frequency a little lower of the thump circuit and a little less in the mids. But this is dependent on what kind of cabinet you're plugging into and what kind of loads on the amp and how it reacts. It reacts differently with different speakers. But basically, yes, it would make it the same as those amps. That's really all that has to be said.
Okay. Awesome. Excuse me. All right. You know what? Before we get to the next question, let's just go through our sponsors.
Oh, and then please see the bias question, which I saw. Oh, hang on. There's more here.
Yeah, you want
Yeah, yeah. 38's a little too hot. I would agree with Alex here from Serious Amps, who answered that. You know, first of all, 440 to 445, your wall voltage probably isn't at 120. At a wall voltage of 120 exactly, and the amp say biased to around 32 milliamp, you're going to see around 460 on the plates. So of course, the higher you jack the bias, the plate voltage will come down a little. So 455 sounds about right. Dropping at 440 though, your wall voltage must have dropped or something. That doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. But 38's a little hot. I mean, maybe back it to 35. I mean, it won't hurt anything. I mean, you can pretty much do anywhere from 30 to 40 and still be okay. But you know, if you're playing really quiet too, it doesn't. You can have the bias set higher too. So it'll seem a little juicier.
Okay, cool. Jack Clark. We just talked about that. So if you didn't hear it, rewind. Basically, you know,
Who knows?
We'll have to see. Just don't know. It seems weird and interesting at the same time.
I mean, if they're going through old material to put something together, okay, maybe, you know.
Yeah, it just I thought that's what Wolfgang wanted to do. So at some point.
I don't know.
But maybe he's not ready to do it and Alex just wants to do it. So and Wolfgang will just focus on his own stuff.
Who knows?
Yep.
We're gonna find out probably though.
I'm sure we will. And we're hoping to have Wolfgang on one day. So
we've been promised many times.
Oh, you know, speaking of that, I don't know. Did you watch the interview of Wolfgang recently where he was interviewed by Billy Corgan?
No.
It's horrible. The interview is just so bad. I mean, I felt bad for Wolfgang because Billy Corgan starts the interview off by saying, yeah, we're not going to talk about your dad. You know, we want to focus on you and blah, blah, blah. And then the rest of the interview is all about his relationship with his dad and everything about his dad and how he interviewed his dad back in the 90s. And, you know, I was just like, you know, and the line of questioning and then how he became like just very defensive of Wolfgang, you know, with internet trolls and stuff like that. And the whole thing was just, it really, I just felt like, got to get Wolfgang on here. Let's talk about music and let's talk about gear. And I think he would be really happy about that. That's at least, that's my opinion. I just think that's what I felt like writing to his PR guy and be like, if you could just get Wolfgang on our show, we're just going to talk about gear and writing music. And like, we don't even have to talk about Ed as much as I'd love to. Like, you know, like I just want to talk about him and, you know, so anyway, that's what I was thinking the whole time I was watching that interview, which was like horrible.
Yeah.
And if you read the comments on that interview, I mean, they're hilarious because like one of them says something like, you could pick at any time, any moment of this interview, and I promise you, Billy will be the one talking.
Well, he's a special person now.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it there.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm sure other people saw that. I can't be the only one who thought that. Harmonicaster. Gibson registered a trademark for Lab Series last July. New line of solid state amps, maybe?
I don't know. That would seem like an odd thing to bring out.
Lab
I mean,
series.
you know, sort of an odd. I mean, many people used them. You know, like the most famous rock guy would have been Ty Tabor. But you know, BB King used Lab Series and things like that. But I don't. Is that really financially? They might just be registering the name because maybe they own the rights to it or something.
Yeah, it's possible.
Maybe they'll do something in the future. Maybe they won't. Who knows?
Or it just prevents other people from.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Except you got it. You do have to. If you do a trademark, you do have to use it in trade eventually. So
Interesting.
Yeah. Otherwise, it can be revoked.
Well, doesn't shock me of Gibson. They'll try to trademark anything.
Sure.
Okay, DSL. What advice would you give to someone starting a small amplifier company?
Make pizzas. Man, I don't know. I don't. Good luck.
There's just.
I mean, you might have the greatest thing in the world, but unless it's in this day and age, I don't know. It's probably not the. Don't do it for a full-time job.
Do it for the love of it.
Do it for the love of it, and you make some amps here and there. Okay, fine.
I mean, there are people who are doing it. I mean,
sure. No, it exists. It's just it's a tough business to rely on as your income, shall we say?
And there's just so much competition,
and it's that's why I said open a pizza place.
I don't even know if that would be a great idea.
You're right. Might not be. Burger stand? I don't know.
Yeah, smash burgers are the hot thing right now.
Yeah, but that'll be over soon, probably.
Yeah, that's true. Didn't Alex, who used to work for you, do that? He started his own. How's he doing?
He didn't do like a location. He did like he would like table kind of and would cater things and do things like that. I don't know. I actually haven't talked to him in a long time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but you're right. Yeah, he was doing that.
He was a nice guy.
Oh yeah, Alex is awesome.
Yeah,
miss him.
Stephen Douglas, Dave, I'll be working with Jeff Bober to update the loop of my 2006 SLO. He's not sure if his usual passive post-master loop will work, and if not, he'll do a buffered loop kit. Recommendations?
Have Jeff contact me. I have one he could use, or I can point him in the right direction. Yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, your passive loop's not going to work. So, not at all.
Okay.
Never has, never does.
Okay. Mr. Anderson, what's going on? Hey guys, Dave, looking for a PT for a power transformer for an OG 60-50 watt Plexi I have. Don't mind about the extra money as long as it's in original condition. OT choke are original, and I know that the OT is more important. Thanks in advance for any hint.
I mean, like in an actual real one, good luck. Yeah, good luck. But why? I mean, like, what's in it now? I mean, the power transformer isn't going to be most, good replacement transformers are fine. They put out the proper voltages and yeah, I mean, you might find one, maybe an original somewhere, but if not, Habor makes some great replacements. There's my 2 cents.
How would a Habor compare to an original?
I mean, when it would be the same voltages. It's a power transformer, so it's yes, like he said, the most important thing is your OT. That was the most important part of the equation. As far as like a 50 watt actual Marshall transformer from a more modern amp would be fine. The old classic tone 50 watt ones that they made would be fine. They're no longer in business. Habors would be fine. A lot of things would be fine. Just important that it has a certain voltage.
Gotcha. I see. Okay. Let's talk about our sponsors. All right.
All right.
Let's check out Sweetwater. All right. Check out the link we have below. We have the
Get some
affiliate.
free candy.
Yeah.
Well, it's not free, I guess.
Yeah, you got to buy something.
You got to buy something to get candy. But I think
Right.
even if you buy a pack of strings, you get candy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly. It's just, there's no limit, I don't think, for how much you need to spend just to get the candy. But yeah, check out Sweetwater. We've got an affiliate link below. If you're going to buy something, please just buy it using our link, and it just helps out our show. It doesn't add anything else to your purchase.
we should test this theory. If you just buy a pick, do you get candy? Like one pick?
I don't know if you can.
How low does the dollar figure have to be where you don't get candy?
That would be an interesting. That would be an interesting question. Yeah, I mean, I have to ask myself.
Could be an experiment.
Yeah. Randy Poteet, text me if you're watching. I'd be curious. That'd be funny. So yeah, guys, check out Sweetwater. Okay, they're awesome. Fixed pedal boards. Fixedpedalboard.com. Fixedpedalboards.com. All right.
There you go. For all your pedal board lifts and bridges and metal lifts and interface boxes and sliding rack shelves that I designed. They're all right there, and they're good. So if you got to build your rack in your man cave and you want pedals on a shelf, go get them there.
Yeah, I've wanted to do that. I've been meaning to do that for a while. Just haven't done it. It'd be cool to have like a few pedals running through your rack, and just have a shelf with it.
Yeah.
So
I've been doing that for a lot of years.
Yeah. How do you mount the pedals in the shelf there?
In the tray, dual lock, 3M dual lock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you mount them on the tray and you wire them up, put a power supply on it. It hooks up to a switcher, generally speaking. That's how it all works.
Right. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Check out fixedpedalboards.com. Tell Tim we sent you. And then ThoMannmusic.com. Make sure you guys check out Thomann Music, and we have an affiliate link below. Again, just check out their stuff for sale, and we get a little kickback on the show. We appreciate it. And Thomann's really cool for different stuff outside the US if you're curious.
Yeah.
For other products that we can't get, like Sweetwater, like Harley Benton and stuff like that. So, all right. Cool. All right, back to the questions. Let's see. Where are we at here? All right, so you're going to have the, just in case people didn't hear, the Jose wait list will be next Friday.
Next Friday we'll make announcements. It'll be on our website, big banner, and then we will have social media posts about it too. We were just getting all that together to do it.
Takes time.
You have to set up a mailing list, and you got to set it up on the website, and it's not so simple.
And you want to do it right. That's
you got to do it right. And yeah, guys, I'll get on the list, and then it'll be a fight.
I got to say, this is the one amp I'm not going to get. I just don't have the room. I seriously don't.
I don't believe you.
I don't have the room for another 100 watt. I really can't. But speaking of smaller amps, Zeke Downey, Dave, when can we expect to see the PX, the Phil X 20 amp? Really looking forward to this one.
I'm prototyping it now. I mean, I had a prototype that didn't make NAM, but there was something wrong with it. That's why it didn't make NAM. So then I had to get new boards, and then I was kind of still busy with the Jose thing. So now I have to get back to it and do the prototype of that. It's going to be really cool. Very full featured. So
yeah, 3 channels, you said, right?
3 channels essentially. Yeah.
That's awesome.
A lot of knobs and a little space. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Which is different than, it's interesting. That's totally different than the regular Phil X.
Yeah, we weren't going for the exact. This is not the Phil X other amp exactly.
Yeah.
This is a kind of a different thing, a different take on it,
which is cool.
but still with stuff he loves,
Right.
So it's like we wanted to, have a versatile amp that did a whole bunch of things for a whole bunch of people. It's not just, it's not just him.
Did you see the video of him playing with Richie Sambora?
Yeah. Sure I did.
Okay. Your answer just explained all I needed to know.
I mean, Richie was having a good time.
Yeah, he definitely looked like he was having
before
fun.
he got on stage.
Yeah,
yeah, he's having a good old time.
It was not pretty.
It wasn't pretty, no.
Not pretty. I felt bad for Phil. But
I know Phil's just like,
yeah. Almost like Homer Simpson into the bush.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over here in the corner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fun. That's too funny. Jay Stevens, a few bucks for the info and all the great interviews. No question.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks. I wonder if that's my friend John Stevens. I wonder.
I don't know.
I will have to ask him.
Well, you just did.
Well, if he's not watching, I'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
It's not him.
Yeah, lots of rock cruises going on last few days or last week or two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that news about the?
Oh yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
The Faster Pussycat.
She jumped.
Did she jump?
It's been set. It's already been set out there. Yeah, she jumped.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a long. There was something Ricky Rackman put out about talking about that because he's really good friends with him.
Right.
And then he put it out, kind of dished most of the information.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
But I mean, Time is cleared of everything. So
good. All right.
Yeah.
Because
there's a long. I'm not going to blurt information that I have no right talking about. So
no, I got you.
Yeah.
But when it first came out, when the news first came out, your first inclination based on.
Did he push her?
Yeah, you're like thinking, how does someone just fall off of a cruise line? Yeah, that's horrible.
Cruise lines have lots of cameras.
Yeah, that's true. Even in your cabin, though?
Not in the cabin, but outside.
Mm-hmm. That's so sad. That's too bad. Really.
Yeah. They were supposed to play the Monsters of Rock cruise too. So that didn't happen.
I saw that Nerd Halen was playing on one of those cruises.
Yeah. He Monsters of Rock.
Yeah.
Or,
that's cool.
Yeah, correct. Monsters of Rock. And Tracy Guns was there.
Right, Tracy was there. Yeah.
He had just gotten himself a IRX.
Oh, he did?
For that trip. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did he like it?
And Caleb was using an IRX too for the Nerd Halen.
Yeah. No, yeah. I know that. Yeah.
And I think he liked it. Yeah, I think so. I had dinner with him right before he left, really.
I saw that picture. Yeah.
That's
cool. He seems like he's a really nice guy.
He's a really nice guy. He's awesome.
Yeah, very, very cool guy.
Good hang.
A lot of the comments from the show when he was on were like, wow, never knew Tracy was so cool, like.
Oh yeah, he's super cool, man.
Yeah.
He is. He's a great guy.
Yep.
I really like good things to say.
Yep. We like them a lot. Good personality, just super cool, laid back.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Mack. What production EL34 and 12 AX7 tubes do you like nowadays for Marshall type circuits? What do you think about film bright caps?
Well, for EL34s, I either use JJ or I use PS Vane EL34Cs. All our amps, depending on the amp and which one I like slightly more than the other. I mean, they both sound really good. I've had really good luck with the PS Vanes. Although there is a certain sound to the JJ that I like too. I use the JJ in the Plex, and I use the JJ in the JL because I don't know. I liked it slightly better in those circuits. 12AX7s. Well, that you can get really. I mean, it's, to me, still the Shugang 12AX7s are back. So the Chinese 12AX7s have always been good. So the Shugang, I would say, for most slots, generally you can't find one quiet enough to use in the first slots. You might be able to find one quiet enough, but if you're buying small numbers, good luck. So the first slots I use, just because we do such a big production, I have to use JJ in the first slot just for low microphonics. It's not my favorite sounding. I'd prefer to have the Chinese in there, but you just can't get them quiet enough, low microphonic enough.
Right.
Or you can't get enough low microphonic enough.
I see.
Out of a box of 100, you get 10.
Really?
That will work in the first slot. Yeah. So that's why. So we use what works.
Why not?
Yeah.
And what about film bright caps?
Film bright caps are cool. I mean, they're just a little different. It's not that much different than the ceramic bright caps. They sound slightly different, maybe a little smoother.
Okay. Thanks for the super chat, Jimmy Mack. Have a good weekend. Tony Mulkus, thanks for the super chat. Hey guys, no question, just a little thank you for your great show. Nice to meet you at NAMM, Dave. Green curry next year. Ooh. Do you like green curry?
Well, we go. Tony, I'm sorry. I don't actually. I'm sure I met you. I can't, but I don't, without seeing the face, I can't put the name to anyone.
Did you go to dinner with him maybe? Because he's
I don't think so.
Okay.
But maybe. I don't think so. Sorry. green curry. So yes, at NAMM there's a Thai restaurant that we always go to every year, sometimes multiple times in the course of several days. And the green curry there is particularly great. So that's what we get.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going next year.
Okay. Well, then you're going to go to Thai restaurant.
I'm in. I love Thai.
Yeah.
I love Thai. Okay. Let's see. What's the next one? We've got Dr. Foster Music. Thanks for the super chat. Hey, Mark and Dave, I'm wondering if there's a chance of Tracy Gunn's signature amp. The cocked and loaded in Hollywood Vampires guitar tones are one of my favorite recorded guitar tones. Thanks, Chooch.
I don't. Good question.
What are your thoughts on signature amps these days?
Like, I mean, it's always fun to do, for sure. And it's a question of how much pull, or how many of that really sells you. It might not necessarily. Certain artists it does. JL, yeah, Jake, it's sold a lot, quite a lot. Cantrell sold a lot early on. Stevens early on sold a lot. They tend to peter out. I could see I don't know about doing too many signature amps in the future, but I could see doing a limited run of a signature amp. And that would be a limited run could be very small even. It could, hey, we're going to do 30 or 20, of this amp I worked on with whatever, Tracy maybe. And, we'll sell, there you go. That's it, And then you hope that there isn't enough demand, then you hope you say you do 30 and then you hope there's not demand for 500, because then what do you do?
Right.
You said they were limited. Now it's this, but we got 500 more people that want them. And they're like, oh shit.
Yeah. That's the tough part.
Yeah.
To try to get a gauge of it, but you never really know who's really going to buy.
Yeah.
You know, that's the tough part. You can get opinions and be like, oh yeah, lots of people are really interested in it, but when it comes down to spending their money, it might not happen, you know.
Right.
So, but I can see Tracy having some pull.
I mean, I could see doing some limited stuff, like with even with smaller artists, I could see doing some limited things, I'm doing a limited run, of these or something.
Yep. Yep. So, did we ever talk about Jerry going back to Bogner?
I don't know. I think we mentioned it.
We did? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we mentioned it.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there, but
yeah, I mean, well, like you said, maybe the
good
jail.
luck, man. It was, he was with us for 14 years, so
That's a long time.
awesome.
Absolutely.
I wish him well.
Yeah. Are they going to come out with a new version of the Fish?
Got me. I have no idea whatsoever. They don't even have a website. So I don't know. Not the greatest move, but okay.
Yeah. That's true. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I would imagine. I thought the JJ20 sold a lot, actually. At least at one point.
It did. No.
Yeah.
JJ sold a lot. We sold a lot of JJs for sure. I mean, like tons. Yeah, he made a lot of money.
So can I, if you don't mind me asking, how does that work with an artist? Like they get a percentage, right, of the amp.
They get a percentage of the invoiced amount to whatever our dealers.
Invoiced amount to your dealers.
Yeah.
I see.
So, whatever, let's say hypothetically, if you had, I mean, it's the amount and the percentages are all negotiable kind of, but if you sold, something to a dealer for say $3,000, they would get their percentage off of that amount of money.
Right. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep.
Okay.
But it's we generally kind of set kind of flat fees, kind of have a certain amount that they make off things. That is roughly the going rate. There is no real going rate. It varies. I mean, a percentage for artists can vary from 3% to 10%. Depending.
Okay. Depending on the artist, yeah.
Well, depending on the artist, depending on the deal, depending on that. I mean,
depending on the overall retail price, I guess, right?
Yeah. Also, there's also that because like certain items have a much lower profit margin than other items. So sometimes you can't give that bigger percentage on something because then you're losing money.
Right. So unless you start charging $3,000 for a 20-watt amp or something.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I got it.
That might be the future, but we'll see.
It might be. Oh God. All right. So Whack Job. What's up, Whack Job?
I like the name.
Yes. It took me a second. I'm like, is that what it says? Dave, why do so many amp builders use large carbon composition resistor for B+ duties when a Mox OR wire wound would be safer? Any special reasons? I got to tell you, this question's.
Yep. So that would be, well, I mean, they sound different. I mean, the B+ line resistors definitely sound different. I used to like some carbon when you could get good carbon, but you can't get good carbon anymore. And the last carbon resistor I used in an amp started failing on me in amp, so that's a no. So we don't use those. A long time ago, Allen Bradley carbon comps were pretty decent resistors that lasted a long time, but yeah, I'm not going to use them, or I haven't in years. I did used to use one in some early amps, like in one spot in the B+ line, but But yeah, I gave up on that a long time ago.
Okay.
I actually use a metal film resistor actually now. Flame-proof metal film.
What does MOX stand for?
It's metal oxide.
Oh, okay. And OR, what is that?
Or.
Okay.
He's just saying wire wound.
Metal oxide or wire
wound.
I
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay. See, I'm trying to learn here.
Yeah.
All right. I'll be building my amps next week. So
cool. Make sure you get that Carvin resistor in there.
I'm starting. I'm starting my own company. Husansky amps. Peter Lasis, what's up? Happy Friday, guys.
Hello.
What's going on, Peter?
Do you have a question, or you just gave us $20?
I appreciate it. Even if you're being nice, we appreciate it. Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. Can you imagine if I decided to come out with my own line of amps? It was just
God, it's just what the world needs.
yeah,
More amps.
Husansky. We're another Dumble clone. So all right, let's go. Jose G. Hey guys, happy Friday. Just curious, the vintage line Princeton, how are you looking to approach it? What attracts you to the Princeton sound? And favorite Princeton recordings performances for you and Mark, famous or not?
Okay, well, first of all, I'm not. The only thing that I like about the Princeton, realistically, is the size. I think it's the perfect size. I'm not approaching the Princeton as a Princeton. I'm approaching it more like, if I do that, I'm approaching it more like a black-faced Fender Deluxe than a Princeton. I don't like the phase inverter on a Princeton that much. I don't, I mean, they're cool. They're cool at lower volumes. When you push them, I don't really like how they sound that much. So I don't have favorite Princeton recordings or performances. I mean, there's some great stuff that has been recorded with Princetons. I think, that early Robert Plant stuff. I think Robbie Blunt used the very first record used a Princeton with a Strat, and those are kind of epic, clean tones. But what I don't like about the Princeton is when you push them, they just kind of shit the bed. It's not great.
What I'm reading, according to AI,
oh boy,
it says that Louis Shelton from the Wrecking Crew,
sure,
did a lot of Motown and recordings with a Princeton reverb, a lot of Motown sessions, Marvin Gaye, Jackson 5.
AI can sometimes be handy.
Yeah, I've been using it a lot.
You search anything on Google, it just pops up. It's just like,
well, yeah, that. But I've been using the Gemini AI.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is
I just use Google and you type it in, and then all of a sudden you get your answers. So
right, that's true too. Yeah, you can do that too. It gives you that little kind of AI box.
Yeah,
that's cool. I actually like it. It's it's interesting. It's debatable whether it's going to take over the world and take my job, but that's a whole other story.
It's going to take all our jobs.
I have a Princeton right there, and I love it. I think it's. Here's the thing, I wouldn't push it like past 5. On the volume.
Because it gets kind of crappy when it starts to do that. But clean, it sounds amazing, and it's good for pedals too, because
that's exactly what I was about to say.
Because it there's no bright cap on the volume, so generally speaking, it behaves itself with overdrives and stuff.
I was over at a buddy's house. We were jamming. My John Stevens friend from high school. We were jamming a few weeks ago, and I brought the Princeton over with a little pedal board that had the King of Tone on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was playing the 56 Les Paul, and it sounded fucking awesome. I was like, holy shit.
It can. It's good. The only thing, like I said, I don't love about it is when it's pushed.
When it's pushed, yeah. But
yeah, that's the thing.
But just with a pedal, it sounded great. It really did sound great.
I'm going to take a intermission for a second.
Okay.
So find something to talk about.
Okay, you're all right. All right. Well, the Princeton. I actually like it. So first, and then the other thing is, it's very, very portable. I mean, you could just take that amp anywhere. You don't have to worry about it. Now, the one that I have, in all honesty, is the Tone Master one. My wife is like banging stuff out there. I don't know what she's doing. So the Tone Master version doesn't have tubes, obviously. So it's a modeled version of the Princeton. I still think it sounds fantastic. So just so you know. So yeah, that's I don't think Dave's going to be doing a vintage line Princeton if he said that. So I might be wrong. But so yeah. All right. And let's go to the next one. Zeke Downey. Dave Remark opinion. Going into the studio myself and other guitarists, I will have a JG 100 and he will have a JG Junior. Any advice for amp settings to complement each other or speakers? That is a good question.
What did I miss?
What'd you miss? Good timing. So he says he's going into the studio by himself. Oh, excuse me, with himself and another guitar player. He will have a JJ 100 and also a JJ Junior. Any advice for amp settings to complement each other or speakers?
I mean, like, you could mix speakers. Like, you could do one amp with a vintage 30, one amp with a greenback kind of thing. The real thing is use different guitars. Like, you can track one person with, say, even if it's rock, like a Telly, and then another person with like a Les Paul. And when they're doubled like that and panned and stuff, it sounds huge. So it's a couple thoughts.
Okay.
As far as settings go, I mean, you can set one cleaner, one dirtier. It's not that much different, though.
Yeah, I was going to say
different guitars,
maybe one a little
different speakers.
One have a different kind of EQ curve.
Yeah, which you do with speakers and or guitars.
Right.
So,
how often are people, or even just in the studio, like real actual, like famous recordings or regular recordings that people have done, where they do they get their great sound, but then when it comes mix time, they're using EQs to like change the,
sure, all the time. Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah. So it fits in the mix. Yeah,
right.
So they'll generally shelve all the low end that you worked real hard to get, and because you don't need it, and sometimes we'll give a little bump at like 2K or some little air to it, or it depends on what sound you're shooting for.
Yeah, well, I found myself like I was trying to replicate Robbie Krieger's tone for the Roadhouse Blues, right?
Uh-huh.
And I did it as well as I could by ear.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, you know what? After I recorded it, it still didn't sound as perfect as it, with an isolated recording. So then I just EQ'd it a little bit. And I was like, oh yeah, there you go. I'm like, that's it right there. I sent it to a buddy of mine and he's like, yeah, that sounds spot on. And I was like,
yeah, it's done a lot.
Okay. Interesting. I always felt like
a normal part of mixing, it's just,
I felt it was like cheating, like, oh, well, like you couldn't get the tone naturally. Now you're using this EQ kind of thing,
No, it's pretty normal. I mean, like anytime when a record is going to be mixed, it's manipulated a lot. And you talk like even like the greatest mix engineers, you'll see some like Chris Lord Alge or something. You will see some radical EQing of guitars and things, like crazy radical. Like, and if you listen to him soloed, you'd be like, that's terrible.
But together,
but then in the track, it works.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I've heard, just famous recordings. You take something like Pete Townsend out of the recording, and it's just so bright or something. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Oh yeah. I remember. Not this year, the year before or something. I think Pete with the Classic Rock Show, Pete Thorne was going to play a Who song, and I had found a isolated track of the song. I don't remember what song it was now, but it was one of the classics, you know, and this isolated, and you hear every little. It was a terrible guitar sound to hear it isolated, just terrible.
Right.
But the performance was cool to listen to it isolated, because Pete Townsend has this really thing. He's very off the cuff on what he plays, and
rarely repeats it. What he does,
very rarely repeats the same pattern again. And I always said that was sort of like John Bonham too. Like it's like John Bonham's drums never really repeated the same pattern. It wasn't like this verse is just like this verse. Oh no. There's different accents and different things. And the same thing sort of with Pete. It's almost like, you know, he was jamming to the music when it was recorded and just getting what he felt. And it was and that's what made it great.
Yeah.
Especially when you hear it isolated, you're like, oh man, that's really cool.
Yeah, and sounds different than you imagined.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's cool.
It's super cool.
Well, thanks for the super chat, Zeke, and hope we helped you out there. Let's see what else we got. Oh, wait. There was another question that I saw. Did I lose it? Wait, I guess I did. All right, never mind. Where'd we go here? I'm sorry, I lost my place. There's Zeke. All right. A Aravello 93. What's going on? Hey Dave, which amp do you think would be more versatile? The new 20-watt amp or the Synergy Syn 20 IR with the BE Deluxe module? Ooh.
Oh man. Okay.
That's tough. Get them both.
I mean, technically, I think the Syn 20 IR would be more versatile because you have 2 full EQ'd channels on the Dirty. If you're talking the B Deluxe module, and then you also got an IR loader and stuff. So, I mean, that's cool. That's really cool little amp.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
See, that one I was considering getting.
But but then again, the new 20-watt amp will also not be those sounds exactly either. So,
right, it's different. Yeah.
So, and it's going to look cooler.
That's true.
It's going to basically look like his pedal.
Oh, okay. Who makes his pedal? Is it J Rocket?
J Rocket. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to have the red Neve knobs, the blood red Neve knobs and everything, and the black and white look. It looks super. It's going to be super cool.
Awesome. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Really cool.
Very cool.
Hope it works.
Yeah,
it'll probably work.
It'll probably work. Let's see. You don't want that to be your tagline. It'll probably work.
That's a bad tagline.
Exactly. That's a bad tagline. Absolutely. Kieran Smith guitar. Hey, Mark and Dave. Greetings from Ireland. It's funny, before I move on to your question, I was totally butchering, as you know, I butcher lots of things when it comes to like pronouncing things. I said Ireland. How do you say it? Ireland?
Ireland.
Yeah, okay. I was pronouncing it like just last week. I think I said to my wife, and she called me out on it. She's like, Ireland? What's Ireland?
I could hear her doing that to you.
Exactly. She's like, Ireland? What the hell's Ireland? Anyway, when asked what amp I'm using for gigs and recordings, I show them the IRX. Faces are priceless. I love it.
Yeah. Man, it's really good. And guys, there's a new software update about to launch. I don't have that exact day yet, but some might be within the next week or two. Might be even next week. There's a new again, we just have to actually launch it and then do the little page that announces it and everything. there's something really cool that we added.
Wow.
Another button in the software that's really useful. Something people have been asking about.
When's it coming?
Oh, it's done. When we release it, maybe it's going to be released next week or the following one.
Cool. I'm staring at mine right now.
It also fixes a couple issues. Like there was an issue with Windows had done a new update for people that are on Windows, and it screwed up the whole USB interaction. So it would so we had to do a fix for that. It's constantly, they always screw something up.
Oh,
Works good, and then they do an update and it's all screwed up again.
My laptop stopped working right this week. There must have been some update that happened with Microsoft, and now I can't get onto like my company portal and all this bullshit.
Yeah. And so there was a fix on that. There was another little cleanup fix we did, and I think there was something else that even made the power amp simulation even more high res. It's and then we added a feature.
All right.
A very important feature.
A very important feature.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be that important to me because I can't. I don't know. I mean, I have the software. I mean, can't think of it. What it could be. Interesting.
I said, over time we'll be updating things to add features. So we're definitely adding a cool feature.
Can't wait. Awesome. I did a recording of Panama. So using the IRX.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And so I'm going to be recording the drums and then the bass. You know Amanda Peters?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's going to play the bass on it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'm going to send her the track.
Awesome.
So I just completed it. Solo and all. Sounds great.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm psyched. All right. What else we got? Ted Furr. Thanks for the super chat. Hey, Dave, any word on when the Fortin Killer Kali Signature module will be released?
I don't know when they're planning on releasing that. I know they showed it at NAMM. I don't know when the release date is. It was cool. For sure.
Yeah, it looked cool as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Had more switches than
sounds good.
I don't know how they can pack all that shit in there.
Well, I was like a couple bright switches, and then an extra the violence stage switch, and then the EQ shift switch, all the typical Fortin things.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
It is cool. All right, I'm going to do this question, and I got to run real quick. DS. Dave, how different is the voicing between the WW20 and the PT-V2?
Okay, go. Okay, so Wildwood 20. So the Wildwood 20 is darker and less aggressive. It's more like the original PT than the V2. Although it could be changed to be just as aggressive as the PT V2. There's a few resistors and a cap difference really between them. So it would be easy to go about doing that if you had to have the aggression. I wonder if you had emailed me this. Someone else asked me the same question in an email today. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, now I got to find questions since Mark's not back. Okay. Boy, I don't know where we are. I saw Michael Torn in here. Hi, Michael. L. Scott Music. Hello. And sorry, I'm looking for the next thing in line here. See, when you don't have the host, you don't know where you are. Oh yeah, here, Leonard Rodriguez. What about those new Van Halen videos on YouTube? Those are cool. Did you guys see all those? Did you get all the Van Halen videos on YouTube?
Oh, I downloaded them all. I have.
Yeah, because they took them down.
Yeah. Did you have them?
I got them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought I had them, and then I didn't have them, and then someone sent them to me. So
Good.
yeah,
Good.
those are particularly gems.
The 79 footage is unfucking believable. It really is.
78.
So yeah, 78.
Yeah. Some of those are gems, and some of them are really high quality audio and video. Really, I mean, for what it was. I mean, a couple of them, are less quality and sound and stuff than the others, but I mean, it's all really cool.
The backstage stuff is amazing. The first of all, the day on the green. I actually I sent an email to Niels Lozauer.
Yeah.
And sent him the link, and he's like, "Oh man, a bunch of people have sent me this link already." I said, "It's literally like your pictures have come to life now. Like I never imagined I would see a fucking video from that day. Like that to me was just what a gift, just to see that. I was smiling. So
that's when they're filming kind of side stage towards Edward on Michael's side.
Yeah.
The other interesting thing is there's a lot of controversy over the years about what what the rig was back then and this and that. And the interesting thing in that particular clip is you see a Marshall on top of three Laneys, not Laneys. I mean, Music Bands, excuse me. So, what we've kind of gathered over time is that, it really was a slaved Marshall all the time into other amps. And those amps would vary because he's not going to get that sound out of the Music Band, and then later it evolved to actual power amp, to do that, the H&H later on in its lineage, so to speak. But I don't think you could touch the tone on the first tour. I mean, that's just amazing.
Right.
That's it.
Is that the first tour, the 78 tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Right. They're opening up for Black Sabbath.
Yeah, that's the first tour.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It was just, and there's especially the Day on the Green video, he's being interviewed backstage while he's warming up. Did you see that?
Yeah.
By the guy from Slade, I think the band, the guitar player from Slade.
Oh, okay.
That's what someone told me. That's who the guy is who's interviewing him in the back while Eddie's warming up and doing like some tricks and stuff. And then also the Madison Square Garden video, backstage and everything. It's just amazing.
Yeah,
I just loved it. I loved it all. And then another video popped up just the other day, which was
I saw a bunch of from the later the Diver Down.
Yes, tour. The Diver Down tour.
I saw a bunch of those videos.
This one was the Capitol Center, October 11th, the first of two shows.
Yeah.
And this is
some of those are. I ran into this one guy that had a bunch of them, and man, I got to say some of those are rough.
Yeah,
I mean rough. The guitar tone rough. The playing rough. I mean, I don't think he was in the best
shape.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't. That tour must not have done. He must not have been in the right headspace, because later '84 tour that was after that was great.
Oh yeah,
there's some great playing. Although it's really interesting seeing the '78 stuff, and then seeing the later stuff. He was a lot more perfect in '78. Like his playing was just like on fire and like on point. And there was like almost no slop, almost no nothing. It was just perfect. Over the years, it got a little looser,
Yeah, I agree.
It wasn't as hungry. It wasn't as, it's different.
He wasn't as precise.
Yeah. Although on the Fair Warning tour, he was really good. So
yeah, there's not a lot of videos of him in the Fair Warning tour.
No, there's just those couple of things.
Yeah.
Those
are
they did Unchained, and
Right.
And
Exactly.
the other one, So This Is Love, and stuff
Right.
like that. Yeah, that was great. That was on point.
I wish they had that whole show.
Yeah,
That's the other
for
thing. They
some of
always,
it, but
yeah. Well, the 78 stuff is amazing.
yeah,
Just
it's crazy.
it's like a gift from God. The VH gods, I swear.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? Like, how
Yeah,
did that? I'm so glad I'm alive to see that.
yeah, it's
Because
cool.
I wasn't alive to see him when he actually, was doing it. And now you get a sense of the ferociousness and how unique it was to see somebody like that back in
Yeah,
78,
yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Can you
mind
imagine?
blowing. Yeah, mind blowing.
What is
78.
this?
Yeah, like holy
Well, I
shit.
think it was like when people first saw Hendrix do all this stuff, like in 1968 or whenever it was.
Mhm.
Holy crap, that
Yeah.
that was mind blowing for all the players coming out of the 60s,
Yep.
Um,
And
and likewise, then later Van Halen, the same thing a decade later.
yeah, just changed the
Changed the
face of
face of
music.
guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. If you guys, it's too bad that the videos got taken down. I saw that Warner Brothers actually had claimed the copyright, and the guy's channel got completely wiped.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The power of Van Halen, just wiping people's channels. It's just so. Anyway, where are we at here? So we've got Tobias Ryan. Hey guys, I know your favorite amps, but wondering what your favorite guitar is. Just got a Plex and love my Gibson Les Paul Standard with a 498T through it.
Cool. I am not a Gibson guy. I don't really care for Les Pauls that much. I mean, I think they can sound good. I just don't like physically. I don't. They're too heavy and too not comfortable in your body, and I don't know. I just didn't grow up playing Les Paul at all. So I'm more into like a Strat with a humbucker in it. So I mean, or something like that, or a Charvel kind of type thing, or super Stratty kind of thing.
Yeah, I go both. I can go with a Gibson or my favorite guitar. If I was going to pick like my desert island guitar, like I had to pick just one, it would probably be my Wolfgang. I love that. I love my USA Wolfgang. Just love that guitar. And the neck is just so super comfortable and everything. But I also love the Super Strat. Dave's Cali, the Friedman Cali is great. I've got the Sir Pete Thorne guitar, which is amazing. So yeah, I can go. I just got a 56 Les Paul. That thing
That's
is
cool.
amazing. It's amazing.
I mean, I have one Les Paul style guitar, and that's which is a Bernie. Les
the
Paul.
Bernie, those are cool.
Which I actually love that guitar, but it's actually better than most Gibsons I've played, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I guess you have to. Yeah, I got to try a lot of Gibsons to get a good one. So,
Sunny Boy 76 says, "Hello, Marcus and David. Is Jakey boy okay?" Yes, Jakey's fine. He's all good. He's repaired.
Okay, good. He's going to be playing a concert.
He's going to be playing at that big, I don't even know what it is anymore. That big Ozzy farewell.
M3, was that what it was called?
No, he's not doing M3. He's doing Jake's going to that Ozzy concert.
The Ozzy thing,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. No, Warren DeMartini's doing M3.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And then here's other guitar. Crybaby says, did Ben Eller use Friedman stuff for the Mastodon gig? I have no idea what he used.
That's really cool. That
I don't know, but yeah, I hope he stays in there. That I hope he continues to do it. That's cool.
Mark, bigger house, dude. Yeah, Basile. Mark has like a dozen amps behind him. Yeah, I've got I've got too many amps. I really should not buy another one.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the Freeman Vox?
That's yeah, okay. So the chronologically, I'm gonna finish off the Phil X and then move right into the Vox. So that's coming. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet, but
AC something.
I don't know what I'm gonna call it.
Hey guys, hello from Australia. What's
Hello.
going on around the world, man? So cool. Love that.
It's morning there.
Yep. Phil X is amazing, all class. Yes, I have to say, after watching that video, he's all class is right. And actually, I've hung out with Phil. He's really, really cool guy. Really, really nice guy.
Oh yeah.
And he does a lot of like charity stuff. He's got a really good heart, that guy. L. Scott Music. How is Jake E. Lee doing? I haven't heard anything for quite a while. He's doing good. He's playing
He's
the gig.
fine.
Yep. That's funny. How many Jay Stevens could there possibly be? It's true, but it's a pretty common name.
He said it's. I know who it is. It's someone that sends me amps all the time.
Oh, so it's not even my friend?
Nope, not your friend. So he
Interesting.
said that somewhere in the chat here. I saw him.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
I got it. That's too funny. I really thought it was my friend. Yes, Leonard Rodriguez, new Van Halen videos. If they're still there, I don't know if they're there.
Oh, the 82, the later ones, maybe. Yeah, I don't
know. Okay, I'm the Jay Stevens. Okay.
He's got 3 amps here right now.
Oh wow.
I'll get to him eventually, I promise. After I weed through the other 10 in front. CEB said, would 6550s be cool in a BE 100 Deluxe? Yes, you have to bias adjust it, but it should have enough range for it. And I've done that. Well, I've used KT88s in them before. I think it sounds cool. It has it's got kind of the brick wall kind of behind it, you know. It's got some punch. It's cool.
Cool. Sonny Boy, Dave Remark, I'm a guitar hunter with some cool old guitars to keep an eye out for whilst rummaging or pawn hawking. What are some cool old guitars? Not the usual fare.
Oh, any like old Japanese guitars, any Tokais or any Bernies or any Edwards or things like that are always cool. In fact,
Ibanez,
I just got a cool Tokai that I bought. That's a Star guitar.
Oh, really?
From the 80s. And I'm pretty sure the same factory made the ESP ones as this one. So
that's cool. You've wanted a Star for a while.
Yeah, well, yeah. I needed one because there might be a chance I might do some. And I found this one. It wasn't expensive, and of course I had to get it refretted, so now it's expensive. But but it'd be cool. It was cool. It's like this aged white. It's one humbucker and a trem.
Nice.
It's super cool.
Send a picture.
I'll show it when I get it back.
Okay.
I took it to my guitar guy the other day, and 2 days later he goes, "Okay, it's fretted. I'm waiting for the bridge."
Wow.
I'm like, Jesus. Okay.
That's nice. Yeah. I mean, those are all definitely not the usual fare, and those are all, those are like popular ones actually,
Yeah.
Like, they're worth money these days.
Right.
Let's see what else. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Here we have.
Well, we got this one.
Okay.
Mark, I'm using the HX Stomp for time-based effects in my small box. What are some of your favorite Helix effects? Dave, thoughts on the small multi effects? Yeah, I have the HX effects.
Yeah.
and the effects I use there are the delay. I use the chorus. I'm using the fuzz actually on there. The fuzz on there is actually sounds actually pretty cool.
No, I mean, I think it's all pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not bad. I mean, is there better things? Since then we've had, things like the VP4, the fractal thing that's come out, but you can do a 4 cable method with in mono at least. That unit's really cool. Sounds amazing. I mean, there's also, other ones like the Hotone Ampero stuff does also like a 4 cable thing you can do, and the effects in that are really amazing, I think. So there's all sorts of fun stuff on the horizon.
Yeah, that Ampero, is that made by Hotone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
It's really made well too. It's impressive when you look inside and everything. It's a die cast shell that's custom cast, and it's like really high end converters and really high end codecs, and it's pretty impressive actually.
Surprising.
Yeah, it's not cheap. In
Yeah.
fact, it's made better than some stuff that's a lot more expensive.
Go figure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, Dave gave your thoughts on the multi effects. So yeah, I mean, I like the HX effects, but like
It's
Dave
cool.
says, probably there's probably better. I just haven't tried them. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, I have it on my board.
You probably haven't even changed the stuff that
I haven't even touched it. I literally haven't.
yeah.
5149 and 1/2. What's going on? Thanks for the super chat. Hey guys, are you familiar with the Canadian guitarist Jag Tana from the band I Mother Earth? No,
I know the band I Mother Earth.
Killer guitar player with phrasing, sounds like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Santana, EVH rolled into one. Huh.
Yeah, I've heard he's really great. Yeah, I haven't really listened to much of that. Now I'm interested.
I Mother Earth. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Now I gotta go listen.
I Mother Earth. I'm gonna look this up so I don't forget.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the suggestion. I really haven't, so I'll have to check it out. Thanks for the super chat, though. Zeke Downey, one more question. If you can leak it out early, if you can't understand, will the PX20 gain stage switch up to, let's say, BE or HBA gain stages?
Yes.
Simple. Yes.
Similar concept to how the IRX does it.
Ooh. Okay.
Not similar, actually, pretty much identical.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Alex Crook, what's going on? Thanks for the super chat. I just got an H&H V800 power amp, and I'm looking to power 2 Marshall full stacks in stereo. Do I need to solder custom cables for the job since the HH has 4 XLR jacks? What ohms do I use? The cabs have 16 ohm greenbacks. Thanks.
Well, I mean, you can use the XLR ones, but you have to make custom speaker cables. You can use the banana jacks on the back, and although you would have to have a way to split to multiple cabinets per side. So like in rigs that I've done in the past, like we would break it out to a panel, and then it would have two like locking jacks per side that could go to multiple cabinets and stuff. But on the back, no, shoot, I haven't seen the back of one for a bit.
You have one, don't you?
I do, but it's not sitting right near me. So
I was just curious though.
Let me see. HH Drid back. Maybe. Oh, whoops. Misspell. Okay, perfect. I knew I'd have a picture that I can look at. Wow, here's one for sale. A really clean one.
How much?
It's in Italy though. It's plus $284 in shipping. Yes, so yes, you could wire custom speaker cables for the XLRs because there is 2 XLRs per side. You could do that. I think it's pin 1 and pin 2. I'm pretty sure is what has to be wired on them. Good luck finding that. You probably have to wire it. So yes, this V800 power amp is $1,364 on Reverb right now.
Wow, it's a lot.
Yeah, they don't come up that often. So that's
well, if you want the Ed thing, that's it.
Aussie Audio Mart. There's some it looks like in Australia.
But not in the US. No one's letting them go here.
And,
Javier Montoya, thanks for the super chat. Hey, crew, Dave, I want to shout you out for whatever you had to do with the MPX G2 rack. They mentioned your collaboration in the manual. Thoughts or tips to share about the unit? Sounds awesome.
Man, that was a great unit. I consulted with the Lexicon crew, and that's when Lexicon was really Lexicon on making that piece, and they did everything correctly. That unit had an interesting thing where it was digital control over analog parts. So like any of the kind of pedal formatted things in the front end were actually, analog. It wasn't like a recreation. It wasn't a model of something, And then the back end stuff in that was their typical Lexicon algorithms and stuff. Hard to program, but amazing sounding. And also the 4-cable method with it was done right. It had an isolation transformer in it, unlike every other product that has ever existed.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, that's the only product ever that was in existence that actually did it right. So,
and I don't know anything about this unit. What does it do?
It's an effects processor that also did some pedal style stuff on the front end, like Drive and Octavia, and I don't even remember everything it did. It's been a lot of years since.
Was it a 4-cable method kind of thing?
Yeah, sounded amazing. Really hard to program.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Along with most of that stuff of their era, it was hard. It was like when you would read the manual, it's like one section would say refer to other section, and the other section would say refer to the other section. and it's like, okay, well, I didn't get my answer.
Right. Figure it out. That's funny. What was I going to say? Oh, by the way, all 350 of you who are watching right now, please press subscribe and click the bell.
Yes.
All right. I know that at least half of you,
or we're going to come and get you.
Come on, press subscribe. You want to. Click the bell. You want to get notifications. Come on. We appreciate it. And want to grow the channel. So let's get to 40,000. All right. Let's see where we're at.
Oh, Tony yes, you did have dinner with me. Now I remember. He said German chewing gum. Now I know who you are. Yes, and that was good. I like that German chewing gum.
That's funny. Asheville guy, thanks for the super chat. Against a recommendation from my wife and wallet, I went down the Synergy rabbit hole. Nice. The preamps sound incredible. Very impressed with how close they are to the real amps. They sound just as good. Syn gel module?
I don't know. Maybe.
They do have an 800 module.
Yeah, but that's different.
Okay. All right.
Different.
Different.
Yeah. I mean, that might be possible. Maybe.
More money for Jake.
That's right. I'm sure he won't argue with that.
If he gets more than a penny, he'll be happy. Remember that? Let's see. Rusty Shackleford, for an amp such as an EVH 5150, does any of the tone come from the driving the power section? Is an attenuator overkill, or is a volume pedal in the loop sufficient for finer volume control at low levels?
Yeah, I mean, you don't need an attenuator for that. I mean, yes, you could put something in the loop to just to fine tune the level down. It all comes from the preamp in that amp. I mean, something is to be said for pushing air of a cabinet where speakers are actually moving. A lot of what you think is happening by pushing the power section is the fact that you're just hearing it different because the speakers are reacting different to the volume level. Clipping that, it has so much gain anyway. I mean, clipping the power section, there's no point. It would just sound shitty.
Yeah, it'd start to get flubby and
weird sounding and overloaded and not pleasant.
Yeah.
You need a much leaner front end with less gain to clip a power section.
But when Eddie was playing them, I mean, he was playing them pretty fucking loud, though. Right?
He's playing them loud, sure, but not full tilt, though.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We got Booma Benz. Thanks for the super chat. Dave, on my Gel 20, for any given tone setting, I find the gain channel a lot more trebly than my Plexi. Any suggestions regarding settings or to mod to reduce this? It is a higher, more gain, more trebly amp.
Well, okay, let's state this. So there's some of the really early ones were a smidge brighter, which I later tamed a little bit. But if you really want to kind of, I mean, I'm not sure where you're running your gain at, right? So, are you running it pulled out? I'm not exactly sure how you're running it yet. I tried to balance it as much as I could, but there is a little cap that we can change, or you could pull the bright cap off the volume control. But maybe it gets too dull for you then. I'm not sure. But it would be a little duller, especially if you're not running the gain at 10. If you're running the gain at 10, it's going to be exactly the same. But there is another cap you can add to it that would filter a little more top end off, which if you have a very early one, you might not have.
I have an early one. Pretty sure.
Yeah, but I might have changed it by the time you got yours. I'm not sure.
Oh. I mean, I like the tone of mine.
And then the funny thing in the JL50, I even shaved it off more. Just I was trying to balance the channels out a little bit better. So email me. You could show me a picture and maybe I could tell you.
There you go. Okay.
Considering you're somewhere far away.
Yeah. Looks like New Zealand.
Yep.
Dave Miller, love my RJ. Are there any mods you would do to my Marshall TSL 100? Do you think the JCM 900 is the worst Marshall?
Well, TSL 100, I don't love the TSL very much. The DSL was better. A 900, depending on which 900 you're talking about. The SLX was about the best of the 900s, but the other ones are pretty much crap. I mean,
tell us what you think.
Pretty much crap. SLX was pretty cool. And later, then you had other little things in there. Jubilee was cool. The JVM's pretty cool. Then 900 is it the worst Marshall? No, no. Actually, I think I have more hate for the channel switching JCM 800. I really do not find that pleasant at all. I don't like how the drive is at all in that.
I've never played one.
In 900 though, oh, that's a tough one there. A tough one there.
That is a good question. Educated Walrus, Mark, why did you sell your JJ Junior and keep the gel? So the JJ Junior was very close in tone to the BE 100 that I have. And I just kind of felt like I was duplicating things and didn't really need to have two of the same amp. But the gel is very, very different. Well,
Yeah.
it's different. I wouldn't say very, very different, but it's different. It's a different tone and different feel to the amp. So that's why, for me, I decided to get rid of the JJ Junior and keep the gel. Hope that makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. The BE covers a lot of ground, so no need to have duplication. Let's see what else we got. I've gotten through all the questions. Oh, wait, here's one. Lou Sequoia, question for Dave. Can you talk about the JTM 45100 you do with Metro and Marin, please? What was it?
What do you mean that I did? I didn't do any JTM 45. Metro did a JTM 45100 amp. Are you saying I modded one? I did mod. I have modded a couple in my time. And I put Dirty Shirley front ends on them. That they came out great. It's basically a 100-watt JTM 45. Basically, is what sort of the JTM 45 100 was. It was cool. It was perfect platform to put the Dirty Shirley front end on. But I didn't do any production amps or do anything with the stock JTM 45 100 with Metro or anything. It's a little unclear what you're saying there.
Okay. Peter Lasis, thanks for the super chat. What would you say accounts for the balls and punch of an amp? Is it primarily the voltage and types of power and output transformers, the tubes, or something else? Always seem to prefer 100-watt amps.
It has a lot to do with many things. The 100-watt power section has a lot of balls and punch. It's loud. A volume has a lot to do with it too, but also like how the front end is too. Like if it's too compressed on the front end, it still won't sound that ballsy and punchy. Although some people want it that compressed, so it's some of it has to do with how the power transformers spec and how much it sags when you hit it or doesn't. You want some, maybe you don't want too much, because then it won't have that punch that you're looking for. Like an example of balls and punch would be a Wizard amp. They're particularly just smack you in the face, 6550 tubes tend to also give you more punch, also less compression on the front end, less gain,
right,
and more volume. I hope that kind of answers.
Okay,
so all of it.
Rick Dale, what about a Run version 2, 3-channel solo boost and a saturation mod? Great show, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, well, there's a fill amp coming, so
there you go.
I guess that sort of does that kind of thing.
True. Lucas wants to know, is the Jose foot switchable?
No, it's a single channel amp. There's many options on it from different eras of Jose's and different style mods of Jose's, but it's not foot switchable in any way.
Have there been any updates on a potential Freeman amplification showroom in Los Angeles?
Yeah, eventually you're going to see the desk that I'm in move to that room. So I mean, it's behind where I'm pointing. And there's a wall of Friedmans in there right now, and there's a little rack, and I don't have the cabinets in there yet, and I have a video light up in there, but I don't have the desk in there yet. So it's moving it's moving along. I just, there's a lot of other work I have to do too, so I can't always spend time getting it together.
That sounds cool.
And then I got to go through every amp that's in there to make sure everything's like, tip top.
Right. L. Scott Music. I once didn't get candy with a $300 demo product. I was like, what?
What? I would fucking call your salesman.
Yeah, send me that candy right now. I want fireballs and
they don't have fireballs anymore. God damn it.
Well, what were the other ones? Bit of honey and
lose your teeth filling. Smarties or they have root beer barrels now though. I'm a fan of those.
Those are good.
Good. Yeah, I like those.
Tommy, always a great night with you guys. Thanks, man. Nice V mark. What is that? That is inspired by a Gibson custom Epiphone. And I will say that for the money, I wish it were better. It's expensive for $13.99 for an Epiphone, and I think the frets are kind of crappy on it. I'd like to refret it, to be honest with you, but I'm like, is it really even worth refretting an Epiphone Flying V? I might just get myself eventually like a real Flying V, a Gibson, and sell this. But it's fun to play and it looks cool as shit. But it's more of a wall hanger. I'm just not really thrilled with like how it balances and how it's just not it's not great, but it looks great. So I was funny because Michael Nielsen and I were talking about the Epiphones, and I think he got his hand on the Dave Grohl one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he was having some tuning stability issues with it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take things like that to a luthier and get it all dialed in, and
yeah, absolutely.
So, differences between B100 and Jose, they're different, man. Does the Jose do the gain levels? I would say in the highest gain mode, it does the gain levels of the BE. You have a lot less muck in the signal path, meaning like there's not a lot of switching and there's some different presence options that don't exist on the BE. And I would consider the way I built it at this point superior. It is a PC board based amp, but it's done beautifully. It's amazing. And so I don't know. I'm going to say it's different.
Educated Walrus says he has a question. Let me get down there.
Oh, here's one though. Let me answer this really quick. Braxall said, said, what happens to the JJ amps that never sold? We got rid of them all. We sold them all. So there you go.
Okay. I'm trying to find, here it is. Sorry. Back to my bias question. Do you recommend 60% or 70% dissipation, and roughly how much does 70% reduce the tube life and duration? I really like the sound of 70% as it sounds more squishy.
Use 70%. It's fine. To be honest, I'm gonna quote Ken Fisher. And Ken Fisher said, a safe range of bias is anywhere from 15 to 40. Wherever you like it in that range is fine. Wherever you like the sound of it in that range is fine. I think that's a good way to look at it. I mean, it's just like, and different tubes will react differently also. Like Like a JJ tube might like a colder bias than a hotter bias, and vice versa with different tubes. So different power tubes will react differently to different biases too. Sonically, you're safe where you are. Don't worry about it. If you like it there, it's fine.
Okay. Cool. Let's see what else we got. Stephen Douglas, vertical input were 800s were the same as the JMPs. They changed things when they went horizontal input.
Well,
yeah, that's true.
Correct. Yeah, the vertical input 800s were exact same thing as a JMP. Yes, they did. It's roughly the same preamp circuit, but there was definite changes in the power section and the way it was filtered and the voltages and stuff. For sure. But the same basic signal path and circuit, yes. Voltages were different. And then the Rosa amplification said that, yeah, Dave used a 10K carbon comp 1 in amps 10 to 15 years ago. That's true. And the reason I stopped using any of those is because newer ones would wind up failing over the years in that spot. They would wind up the B plus would sag and be inconsistent and go up and down. So after I saw some of those, I was just like, yep, nope, gone. Can't have them anymore.
Okay. Ray Tyler Baca. Hey, Dave, do you have any recommendations on go-to speakers? I'm just looking for a speaker that would sound great in most scenarios. Speakers are the most challenging to test out, so any tips would be cool. It really depends.
Well, what kind of cabinet?
Yeah, it depends.
212. Okay, things I like. Greenbacks, vintage 30s, creamback H's and creamback M's. I like all those. And as far as I'm concerned, there isn't anything else. Nothing else exists to me other than those. So, oh, well, I take that back. I don't know. I'm lying. A red back I like too, but that in certain cabinets. It works particularly good in an open back cabinet. So I don't know the cabinet you're asking about. What are you going to put it in? What kind of sounds are you trying to get?
Yeah, it's tough to answer.
No.
But from a like Dave said, like from a more general perspective, Celestian.
Yeah.
Greenback. I think the creambacks are really nice too.
Greenbacks are really nice. The Creamback M is more is like the same sound as a Greenback, but a little more rolled off in the top end, a little less presence, so to speak, and depending on the speaker cabinet, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. And the H magnet Creamback is pretty big and open sounding, and it's not as mid-rangey as the M style is. And that's a really, really cool speaker in a 412.
What does the M or the H stand for?
Well, I mean, the original it all started years ago with the original Greenback. So G12M 25, but there was also a G12H30 and the H magnet and M magnet. So I think H magnet was a bigger magnet. I don't know why they're called M and H exactly, though. I don't have that answer. Maybe I should consult my Celestian book.
Yeah, interesting.
Maybe it'll tell me.
I was wondering if it was like heritage versus modern or something like that.
No.
Okay. Alex Crook, what's going on? How much different are the early 70s 100 Mark 1 super leads and the Mark II 100 super leads from 74 to 75 as far as the core tone, feel, and B plus voltage? You guys rock. Thank you.
Well, generally the 74 and 75s would have had the worst circuit board ever in mankind in an amp. A very archaic original circuit board that if you ever have to unsolder one little thing, it will fall apart in your hands. If you don't have to unsolder it, it'll still work, you know. The B plus generally on those later amps were higher. They were like 500 ish. And from the very early 70s, the output transformer changed. The original 69 and 70 and maybe even into 72 or 3, I think all used the original Plexi output transformers. And they had self leads coming out of them, which are very cool. I mean, I've heard some 75s that sound amazing, though. Sometimes very aggressive and cool. I mean, it's basically the same amp circuit-wise. It's just a little gnarlier.
So M is medium and H is heavy?
I think so. Yeah, that's it. Medium and heavy magnet, yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Steven,
that's what I was looking for.
Was I dreaming there was a possibility of a DeMartini Freeman limited run?
Man, I'd like to. I know exactly what I would do. That it's based on his original wood amp. That, you know, I would like to.
He would make so much money on that.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting amp. You can't. I mean, it's an amp that couldn't have a loop. It's an amp because essentially what his Plexi was a 800 front end on a Plexi, and he just used the master at 10. So the master doesn't exist anymore, and just vary the gain. So it's like a Plexi with a little bit more gain. So that's how it was used. But you know, he was like, well, I don't know if anyone's how are they going to use it like that? How are people going to? I go, people have power attenuators and things now. They can do it, or we can put my cool master on it that I did on the Plex. You know, where you'll be able to get that. You know, so we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'd like to do that. That would be a cool limited run. I would do that in a totally limited run.
Well, he's got so much pull.
You know, you know, it would be like 100 and done. You know, of that amp, and I would try to make it just like it, which is a kind of a head shell without Tolex that's varnished and stuff. It's like wood. Be fun.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I want to.
Dave,
I would also like him to come on Tone Talk, but hey.
Yeah, that would be nice too. But I know he was talking about doing something produced, like actually like in person, and
we'll see.
Yeah. Dave, what's the difference with a JCM 800 1987?
So a 4-input JCM 800? Is that what you're referring to with the 1987? Or are you referring to just the numbers always fucking confuse me?
Me too, yeah.
You think I'd know this by now?
They're confusing. It just is.
I understand why. So there's 800 2204. No. It's got to be a 4-input. 1987.
It says this specific model is a 50-watt non-master volume amp.
Yeah. So it's just like a
4-input.
A 4-input. It's just a 4-input lead spec circuit. It's just like a Plexi kind of lead spec circuit. Just 50-watt format. They can be cool.
I used to have I had a JCM vertical input 800 2204.
Hmm.
I don't know why I sold that amp. I'm so stupid. The prices have like jacked
Oh,
up.
I know.
It's crazy.
Man, I was looking at prices of like the vintage cabs I have over here. I was like looking at prices of the $3,000, $3,500 for the cabinets now, and I'm like looking at my cabinets, going,
That would be nice. Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it's like, consider I got them for $600 a piece.
Yeah, well, that's a nice profit. Let's see.
I probably wouldn't do that though.
No, because then you'd never be able to replace it
Right.
ever. All right, let's take just a few more questions and we'll head on out. Okay.
Can I explain the difference of this vintage 30s and G12 vintage speakers? So you're referring to the G12 Marshall vintage speakers. I don't know officially what the differences are, but to me, sonically, the G12 vintage speakers sound a little inferior to the vintage 30s. They sound a little more smoothed over and a little brighter, almost like you kind of crossed a V30 with a tinge of a 70-watt Celestion in them. I mean, they're not bad, but they're don't quite have the coolness of the actual real vintage 30. Some people hate vintage 30s though. I don't hate vintage 30s. I actually think they record really well. So,
okay. Let's see what else we got. I guess because you didn't mention them, dang, poor scumbag speakers.
oh no, well those are great too. Sorry. I mean, Scumbag is a good speaker also. Is very good. Yeah. So he has the M75 65 watt was always my favorite of his. Kind of forgot about it. I haven't used them in a long time.
Yeah, I've never tried out his.
No offense, Jim. Sorry.
Yeah. And I know Jim's been asking to come back on a part 2 because his camera didn't work.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have to do that. Kevin Leary guitar. What's up? Dave, what kind of cable would you use to make a stereo Y cable?
As in TRS to TRS to TRS, like a splitter? Is that what you're talking about? Because stereo Y cable could also possibly mean like an insert cable, which is a TRS end to 2 monos. What kind of cable would I use? That's a very good question. Why do you have to make such a cable? That's the first question. I mean, for something like that, I use, there's a small Belden mic cable that I use. 80, boy, no, 90s. I can't remember off the top of my head. Email me and I'll look it up and I'll tell you. It's hard to do. Fit it all in the end properly and not short it out and do all that stuff. You might be able to find something that exists already that is a TRS splitter cable, like an adapter cable you could use. Might be easier.
I've got a question from Taylor Limbeck. Taylor, thanks for the super chat. When is the power amp that accompanies my IRX coming out?
A ways down the road. It's kind of been prototyped though. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's sort of been prototyped. It's gonna be cool. It'll be cool. Really cool.
Prototype would certainly get.
We really need that.
Gets you close.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. What else? Dave, if you ever want to sell those cabinets, let me know.
You're gonna pay that much?
Maybe not.
No, I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, it's tough.
Part of me would like to say yes, but part of me no.
Yeah,
I might consider selling. I have decided to go on a little selling spree soon here.
yeah. We need to have another one of those.
I have way too much junk laying around that I really need to. It sits here, and I don't need to have it. Why?
Right.
Why do I need to have it if it's just sitting here?
Well, let's schedule a show like next month. We'll do like a gear.
I have pedals and I have Randall RM4 rack mount modular things. I got a couple of those that I need to sell. I have I might consider letting go my Rocket Roll V.
Your Ibanez you just got?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm just not going to use it. This is what's bothering me. I kind of want a clean house.
Oh, really?
With only the things I use and stuff, and it's just simpler. Like, I mean, I things go through my head when you get older. If I drop dead tomorrow, who's gonna fucking deal with all this shit?
Yeah.
Or even know what it is or how to deal with it. It's just like a terrible thought, but
No, I know.
hopefully it doesn't happen, but that as you get older, it starts running through your head. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's why Richard Ford has sold a bunch of his stuff and bought a burst or something, like this one thing. If I drop dead, this one thing my wife will have,
Right. No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
As you get older, it makes sense to consolidate.
But I start to think about it as like, yeah, sure. Oh, that'd be cool to have. That'd be cool to have. And then you get it and it sits on the wall. I'm like, that sucks.
But if you really like it, then don't you play it?
No. No, it sits on the wall.
Okay. All right. Well, then,
that's the problem. So
what do you really like? Like, what would you like? Just the amps that are sitting right there, like in front of you.
Oh, no, none of those vintage amps are going anywhere.
Right, those would stay. Right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, except the one Jose amp, that's going to go somewhere.
You're still selling it?
Yeah. I still have a deal pending.
Oh, you do have a deal pending?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's
for that money, it's going away.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. When's the last time you played it?
I don't know, a couple of years ago. So there you go.
Let's sell it. Yeah, exactly. You might as well. Yeah, Robert Bogdan says, Dave, I've been meaning to downsize for about 10 years. Soon.
Yeah. Well, but there's some stuff I literally need to get rid of. I mean, like there's things that it's like, why how did I even get this? Why do I have this?
Yeah.
I mean, you accumulate things over the years and it's like, do I need this? No.
Yeah, there's some things that I've decided, like, I want to get it because I want to have it. I want to get something like that before I die. Like, I want to try it. I want to have it, and I'll let go of it eventually. But I want to at least experience it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, no, I understand. Let's see. Yeah, I still have a path to the bathroom and out the door. I'm good.
Well,
that's all the room you need, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Huh?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, seller's remorse is a terrible thing, but also buyer's remorse is a terrible thing too. And I've had both.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
get a muscle car. It's so funny you say that because as I've gotten older, the one car, and I talked about this on the show before, I've wanted a 57 Chevy. They're not getting any cheaper or more plentiful as I get older. And I've thought to myself, like, that is that's like the bucket list thing, one of those bucket list things that I would love to own one day. But I just know I would buy it, and like the next day or like the next week, I'd have like some mechanical issue, and I know nothing about cars and how to fix them, so I would just be depending on other people to fix the car.
Yeah, that's probably not the best choice. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're just getting screwed. If I knew how to fix a car, I would love to do that, like Mike Soldano or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. But um, all right, let's see. Ben Tom. I wish I could have the 57 Gold Top Les Paul I played in high school, but it's way too much now. Oh yeah. Good luck with that. Oh, did you see the interview with someone? L. Scott Music was just mentioning Phil McKnight. Did you see the interview with Phil McKnight and the Guitar Center CEO?
Yeah,
That was interesting.
I did. I don't know if I finished watching it, but I saw some.
I
of it.
didn't either.
Yeah.
It was a good interview.
Yeah. No, it was totally good.
Yeah, I actually respect. I was like, okay, I actually respect this guy. He was interesting thoughts, and he was welcome to ideas, and it was cool. All right. Oh, let's see. Don't get an old car if you don't want to learn about working on it yourself. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Anything else? I think we've gotten everything.
Think so.
Yep, I think we're good. So we've got one show next Friday, right, Dave?
We do.
Who was it with? Dina messaged me, and I'm totally blanking right now. Oh, Louis Maldonado?
Yes, from Foreigner.
Oh, okay.
The other guy in Foreigner.
The other guitar player.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay. Yeah, he's
guitar
great.
player / bass player / other multi-instrumentalist.
Yeah,
He's amazing.
He's really, really good. Yeah. He and
Yeah.
Bruce trade off, do great
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, he's super cool too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a little chat with him. Hear his whole life story.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then we got other ones in the works. Working on Chris Holmes.
Nice.
I really want to get him on. That'll be a fucking hoot.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch of others that we're working on. They're still in the pipeline. Scott Ian's going to come on eventually. There's we got to get Billy Howardell on,
right?
Who he flaked out for a while, but we'll get him back in the key there.
Yep.
And I'm trying to get Joe Barisi, producer Joe Barisi.
Mm-hmm.
Although he's been fucked over by some online people before, so he's a little hesitant, but I'm trying to convince him. So we'll see.
Okay.
Oh, and we are going to get Joe Holmes too.
Right.
So he said yes. I don't know how I'm doing it yet with him. I might need to get him to come here and do a show with me.
Oh, sit next to you.
He's really not a computer guy.
Hmm.
He's very old school. So it might be something we just do together here. Well, like the Jake interviews and stuff. Hopefully I work out the mic thing a little bit better.
Yeah. May have to add, well, if you have, you can add a second mic.
Yeah.
Which is just then you add a second mic, and because you have two inputs on the Apollo, right?
Yeah. Does it work?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I would imagine it would.
Probably does, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't even know where or how it goes out and what it. I'll figure it out.
All right. We got another super chat. Dave, what's the latest on? Oh, well, he missed the beginning. So the latest on the Arredondo availability is there's no demo videos except for NAMM videos. So if you want to hear
no demo videos yet, no. And we will announce a waiting list this next week here, Friday of next week.
Yep. What are the differences between the Dirty Shirley and the Pink Taco? So the Dirty Shirley is based on the JTM 45, right?
So the Dirty Shirley is a 40 watt power section. It's the power section is like a JTM 45. It's tube rectified 6L6s, and it's got a front end that I sort of developed for that amp. It's kind of the classic vintagey, fat, say ZZ Toppy kind of classic rock kind of machine. It's pretty thick, and got a lot of heft to it in the low end. Pink Taco is more of a BE channel, but the original Taco, is more of a BE channel that was a little darker and a little smoother, and then the later one is a little more aggressive. That's more of a harder rock kind of tone than the Dirty Shirley is.
Yeah, I think
more classic,
more classic rock, Dirty Shirley.
Yeah, it's a great amp.
Yeah. It is. It's a great amp.
One of my faves.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're good. So check us out next week, next Friday night. And thanks for everybody for tuning in. Please hit subscribe. Check out our sponsors in the description of the video. And we appreciate you guys checking out the show and all the super chats. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.
Have a great weekend. We appreciate it.
See you.